All right, I think I've gone a little bit too deep with the philosophy in. Actually, I haven't really gone very deep with the philosophy at all in the last few videos, but I guess as a fragrance sort of dedicated channel, not really. I should do some fragrance related content. I've been meaning to do this for quite a while. The reason I haven't done any fragrance related content or anything new is because I haven't really bought anything until recently, maybe like a month ago. Actually was at a pharmacy. It's a chain pharmacy that we have here in Australia. They sell fragrances. They're a very big retailer of fragrances, and they sell at online discounter prices, which is pretty damn good for us. We've got it pretty good here. And I thought, hold on, that fragrance there in the counter, that looks odd. The price on that looks a bit not right. And so I asked to buy it, and of course when I went to the register to purchase it, because it's behind a cabinet with a lock and a key, so they have to come and take it out for you and then take it behind the counter, and then you go and pay for it. And when I went to pay for it, it came up with a higher price, the actual price of what it should have been, but because the ticket had said the lower price, the much lower price, they had to honor the price that was advertised. So I got a pretty damn good deal. And why did I buy this? I bought this because I've never smelled it before. I've never smelled this before, and it's been sitting on my desk for over a month now. This is Prada L'Homme, or L'Homme by Prada, and this is why I'm wearing the pistachio green of Prada. I thought I'd dress up and wear the shirt. It is pistachio green. Prada's got pistachio green as its signature sort of color, and it's really nice. I like it. It's very cozy. When I go to the mall, the shopping center that we've got that has all the designer boutiques, you can see it from far away. Inside, it's nice, sort of almost velvety, not velvety, but sort of veloury kind of green inside with all the couches. It's all very pistachio inside, but there's nobody inside except for sales assistants. And and there's never any lines out the front of that, whereas there is in front of LV or Gucci, or actually Gucci's died down. Chanel, probably Chanel and LV and Tiffany's. They're the other ones that have a line in front of them all the time. Anyway, Prada L'Homme, I've never smelled it. It is minimalist Italian sophistication, I guess. And looking by the box, I really don't know what to expect. I've always looked this up and I thought, it smells exactly. I'll tell you why I haven't bought this. It smells exactly like, if you look it up in Fragrantica in the smells like section, which is probably the best section of Fragrantica, it's probably the most useful section in terms of being able to deduce what a scent actually smells like, is to look at the smells like section. This reminds me of section. I've done a video on that as well. I didn't buy this because it is supposed to smell like this. This is Dior Homme's Eau for Men. It's supposed to smell like this, and for the longest time I poo-pooed this. I thought it was crap. I thought it was not crap. I thought it was too cold, too clinical, too safe, too boring. It didn't have that sort of magic that the original Dior Homme had. Where's my H's gone? You know, back in university, I wrote an essay about an alien that comes down to Earth and deposits like this magic power to some evil genius who's then able to steal all the H's out of the world. Stole all the H's, and there was no H's. So this would be Dior Homme. Anyway, I digress. I didn't really rate this one very much, but I've picked it back up recently. And I've been wearing it quite a bit. I've come to appreciate what it is. I've come to appreciate what this is. And because I've come to appreciate what this is, I thought, why not see if I like, because I like this. This is hard to get. This is expensive. This is probably like 3 times the price, maybe more, wherever you can find this anymore, than the Prada L'Homme, which I don't think has been discontinued. So I'm going to unbox the Prada L'Homme. I'm going to spray it on, and I'm going to spray the Dior Homme Eau for Men on the other arm, and we'll do a side-by-side and a first impressions. It's a 2-for-1 today. So there you go. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing. I do not know what to expect. Like I said, I've never smelled this before. And I don't think I've smelled the one in the black bottle either, or none of this line I've smelled. Okay, here we go. Pristine. What a box. It actually feels like it actually has that texture. I don't know if you can make that out, but that texture that's on their bags. It's called the Saffiano leather, which is on their classic sort of bag. Don't ask me why I know. I'm married. Okay. Right. Let's open this up. And it is the 50 ml. It's very nice. It's got a little housing inside. It's got the little housing. The little housing inside so that it doesn't wobble around. Good. It's better packaging than Dior. Dior's packaging is bad. Again, with the Saffiano leather. Well, it's not, I don't know if that's leather on the bottle, but it's the same texture. It's the same feel almost as that. Nice, weighted. Feels like plastic. I think it could be mostly plastic, maybe a little bit of metal on the top. Let's give that a spray and a first impression. I like that. I like that. They've done it. The presentation, good. Presentation, really good. I'm impressed. I don't have much Prada fragrances. I actually got rid of a few that I used to own. Okay, let's go. Nice. I don't know why I did not buy this before. All right, well, at the same time, I'm going to do Dior Homme O on the other arm. So, yeah, way better atomizer. The Dior wins on the atomizer. Let's cleanse the palate. Wow. Caffeine is my friend. Let's start with a newcomer. Because if you're going to enjoy the olfactory manifestation of quiet luxury, which, you know, Prada kind of is, they don't do showy, flashy sort of stuff. Look at the box. Look at the box. It's not a Versace, for example, right? You might as well begin with the house that turned nylon bags into objects of desire. Really, nylon bags into objects of desire. I could, like, maybe they were the first ones to do it, to pioneer that, but now pretty much everyone's doing nylon bags as objects of desire, and very expensive objects of desire. Very expensive nylon bags. We got the best nylon bags. Okay, never mind. I can smell neroli. I do not smell black pepper. Because that's what's supposed to be there. Cardamom. That is sophistication. That's sophistication immediately off the bat, right on the introduction. This is minimalist, masculine. It is approachable but not familiar. You know what I mean? Like, it's you can't be. This is the kind of person that you feel very comfortable around, and it makes you feel nice to be around them, but you can't ever fart in front of them. You know what that means? That means that they'll never get that familiar to you that you will let down your inhibitions so much that you would become so comfortable as to fart. Wow, I'm doing well here. But as soon as the opening fades, you get like a lot of iris. A lot of iris, and there's a violet in here, but it's not like your Fahrenheit-y kind of violet. It is, it's a very floral take on the violet. It's not like violet sometimes has like that ozonic sort of thing going. This has it slightly, and sometimes has that petroleum thing going, like in the OG Fahrenheit. But in here, it's very, very floral. Same with the iris. I mean, this is a floral. It's iris, it's violet, it's neroli. It's not trying to be masculine, but it's trying to be masculinity defined by iris instead of iris being defined by masculine. No, it's the other way around, right? It's like, this is masculine now, you know? Yeah, actually, this is probably not for everybody, I would say. And I'm surprised at its popularity, because you kind of need to be a dude that really likes to smell like expensive flowers, but not in the traditional sense of flowers. It feels like it's natural smelling, you know? It's not harsh or synthetic or anything like that. It's quite well done so far. And I don't feel like it's being compensated by a lot of aroma chemicals that need to sort of and beast mode you in the face. Imagine that. Imagine you said that. Beast mode you. I'm gonna beast mode you in the face. That could have many negative connotations. Don't ever say that again, Raf. Edit this out in post. That's what I'll do. I probably won't. And it kind of almost smells purple. This is really weird, but it smells like it's purple. And this isn't purple, but it's clear. I don't see a gradation of color or anything like that. It's clear. It's a clear juice. It might change in time. Again, I've just opened it. Let's move on to the Dior. Now this Dior I know really well. I've been wearing it for a few months now. God, I don't know why I dismissed this. I don't know why I dismissed this. I can actually smell the Moroccan grapefruit in here now. There's Moroccan grapefruit. There's Calabrian bergamot, which, you know, if you know bergamot, you know most of it comes from Calabria anyway. I think almost all of it does. But it's also got Crimean coriander. But it's not the coriander leaf. It's the seed. You know, when you crush the seed, it's got like that almost lemony sort of citrusy sort of crispness and tartness in it. And it's a conventional masculine opening of a fragrance. It's like, you know, sort of very citrusy and in your face kind of thing. It really does emerge that way in the opening. But I think you got to wait a little bit, because every time I wait a little bit and those top notes fade, you can smell the iris sort of peeking its head in. Maybe about 10-15 minutes in, right? And it's a gradual takeover. And it actually does change over time, which is just brilliant from this Dior Homme Eau for Men. Actually, it's probably going to be my if they kept it going, the Dior Homme collection, the Dior Homme line, probably one of the best, most approachable, reachable, versatile masculine lineups that you've got. And I might actually do a whole rundown of the entire line. Yeah, let me know if you want to see something like that, because I've pretty much got all of the Dior Hommes. I'm a big fan of it. Anyway, but it does, to me, it just kind of feels like nostalgic, because it does feel like very 20 years ago-ish. Even though, like, this didn't come out 20 years ago. The original came out 20 years ago. Dior Homme Eau came out in 2014? 2014? Yeah. It didn't have a very long run, and then it got discontinued maybe in 2019. So I think it may have just been one production run, because this is a 2016 bottle I've got here. The iris in here, in the Dior Homme Eau, is it's less floral and more woody, and that could basically be because it's been mixed with like a cedar sort of backbone, let's say. It feels like there's wood in here. Because initially when you sprayed it on, and the citruses were out and about and in full swing, it felt like summer businessman. That's what it feels like. When you first spray it on, it's like, summer businessman. But then about 15, 20 minutes in, that whole iris, the woody, the cedar sort of feel comes into it, and it feels a little bit more serious and less summery, okay? A little bit more serious business, semi-serious business, very affable business, but less summery. Less summery and sophisticated gentleman who prefers lighter fragrances than, oud. I'm just going to oud. I've ouded myself. Yeah, just die. All right, but the real trick here with the Dior and its composition is that there's a difference between the first impressions and months of getting to know it. It's actually quite profound. It was kind of almost cautious, apologetic initially when I first sprayed. I was like, yeah, okay, look, it's trying to be confidently restrained. It doesn't shout or anything like that. And it's not trying to be sort of this profound sort of moment. But it doesn't do that, I feel, because it doesn't need to, and it doesn't want to. Some people talk about the point of view of the person who made the fragrance, but I think what I'm doing with this now is I'm giving the fragrance life and its own voice and interpreting what it's trying to say to me. So that's the opening of both. So let's let's take a little bit of a break and then come back and do like a little bit of an analysis on how the performance went. Okay, stick around. All right, let's talk about what's happened in the next half an hour. I guess half an hour later. Okay, the Prada has become like an expensive whisper. An expensive whisper. Some people might call this mediocre performance. I think that misses the point entirely because it's not meant to announce your presence from the other side of the hallway. It's meant to create like an intimate olfactory signature that reveals itself gradually. It's definitely close to the skin, but undeniably present. It's there. And it smells oddly different. Like they're in the same lane. They've got the same vibe. But it's not redundant to own them both. So, yeah. Are they applicable in the same scenarios? Definitely. There's a huge crossover in that Venn diagram. You know, the two circles that, you know, go across each other like this. It's a very big crossover point and very small sort of differences on the edges outside of the crossover points. Meanwhile, the Dior is performing exactly as I've come to expect after months of wear, which is to say consistently and reliably and predictably well. Here's the thing that I've learned about the Dior after months of wearing it and after the first impressions have faded, is that it's actually got remarkable staying power for something this light. It's light, but it stays with you. Pretty much, you can get an all day out of it. If the weather is right, you can get all day out of it. And if your skin's pH is right, and if you've hydrated, you will get all day performance out of it. It is light, but it's there, which is good because in the settings that you would probably traditionally wear this, you don't want it to become cloying or overwhelming or overbearing onto others because you are invading other people's nostrils without their consent. So Dior Eau for Men, probably the fragrance equivalent of room temperature, you know, not too hot, not too cold, room temperature, which is to say the temperature in the office all the time. It's the same temperature all year round because of the climate control. Let's pause for another break. We'll come back after another half an hour and see what's happened. All right, we're back after another half an hour. So we're like maybe almost hour and a half in to initial sprays, and the Dior has really hit its stride. It's really hit its stride. That iris is present, the cedar is present, and it's sort of melded together to give you like a woody floral. It's immense. It's pretty good. Like it's like sophisticated comfort. Sophisticated comfort. That's what I would call it. Sophisticated comfort. The iris is the sophistication, and the woods are the comfort because they're the traditionally masculine. That's what's going to appeal to you as a man, if you are one. If you're not, it might still appeal to your manly side. And I realize that I spray the Dior on when it's like kind of like my go-to for when I need to smell good without making a statement about smelling good. Yeah, that's right. The Prada, however, like there's layers to this. Like it's revealing stuff that I didn't actually get in the opening. That violet that seems so prominent sort of gone to the background. There's amber in here. There's amber in here. I gotta look this up now. So I don't have it. I should have opened this up. Prada L'Homme. Prada L'Homme. God, it's got a high rating. 4.4 from 13,000 votes. Almost 14,000 votes. Daniela Andriere. Released in 2016. Righty-o. When did I say the Dior O came out? That came out in 2014, so a couple of years beforehand. And Amber. Yes, there is amber in the base. See? I didn't fucking know that. I didn't know that. Why is it so expensive? Oh, that's right. I got a good deal. Yeah. Bar of soap. Bar of sophisticated, expensive soap. It's sophistication. It's luxury soap. It's not opulent, but it's luxurious, you know? It's not loud. It's not loud luxury. It's a whispered luxury. Not they say quiet luxury. I don't know quiet luxury. I want to be quiet. I want to tell people about it. You know, whispered luxury probably sounds a bit better than quiet luxury. It's actually really fascinating how both of these iris sort of scented fragrances behave. Right? The Dior is even and predictable, and I know where it's going to be exactly and how strong and when. It's just very, very comforting, right, to know because it's predictable. The Prada seems to sort of like pulse a little bit more and breathe a little bit more. It's appearing and disappearing. Some things are coming out, some things are leaving. Feels almost alive, if you wanna call it that. We're not talking about two different fragrances here. We're probably talking about two approaches to masculinity and the profession of luxury, professing of luxury. The Prada is what I would say is a post-gender confidence. Post-gender confidence. I think I like that. It assumes that you are secure enough in your masculinity to wear something that smells genuinely beautiful, rather than traditionally masculine. Yeah, I think that works. The amberness and the sort of purpley sort of aspects of it really stand out. And I gotta say, it smells really clean. It shouldn't work, but it does. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's like it's clean, it's fresh, it's warm, it's comforting, it's luxurious, it's unassuming, it's quiet, but it's kind of almost sensual in its cleanliness. You know, there's that scene from a movie that I recall. I think it was called Santa Claus or something like that. I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in it, and her and her partner, they're like double income, no kids kind of people. Then they come home and, you know, they're of course in love with each other because they're, you know, married, and they come home and they start going at it, but just like, oh, let's have sex. And then she's like, let's shower first. And then he's like, yeah, let's shower first. Let's clean up first. And I was like, that's interesting, because you would pause amidst the throes of passion and go, hold on a second, we might smell like sweat. Let's have a shower first, and schedule me in for sex after I've dried my hair or something. It feels almost clinical in that way, you know? Like almost unnatural. It's just weird. That kind of sensuality. Those people. There's two different types, and that's those people. The Prada also reminds me of the immortal words of Will Smith, who had the genius lyrics of, "You got a Prada bag with a lot of stuff in it." Genius. Timeless. Anyway, the Dior Homme Eau, transitional masculinity. Let's call it that. The Prada is post-gender confidence, and then the Dior Homme Eau is transitional masculinity. I don't mean masculinity that's transitioning into femininity. I mean masculinity that's transitioning from a traditional masculinity to a more progressive, probably not a great word to choose in this day and age. Try something else, Raf. A more I don't know. Tell me, what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Terrible communication. What is the word I'm looking for? It's a transitional masculinity into what? Avant-garde? Is it? It's not avant-garde enough. It's still going to be traditional. We're going to look back and go, well, that's very traditional masculine. But in 2016, this is on the cusp. It's sitting on the fence of almost the old school. It's like the nod to the old school, but it's looking ahead to what the new school is coming, and the new school is here. And it only arrived like 2 years later, and it has none of the throwback elements that the Dior Homme has. Like, I think in the time of the original Dior Homme, we would have called it metrosexual. That was the word. Not for a man who likes manly fragrances, for example. It's like more for the guy who, carries a man purse and drinks wine coolers. These criticisms actually reveal something about the Dior in that, and about fragrance culture. The Dior is being criticized for being appealing to men who aren't performing traditional masculinity aggressively enough. But maybe that's exactly the point. Maybe the future of masculine fragrances is not having to perform masculinity at all. Isn't it masculine to not give a fuck anyway, right? Like, it's the girls who really care about that shit. They're the ones that would be spending hours and hours in front of the mirror, and traditionally they're the ones that are making you late for a social engagement because they're trying to get ready. It shouldn't be the dudes. They just slap some shit on and go, because they're confident in their masculinity that they can actually do that, right? So I don't see the criticism here. I don't see where the criticism would come from for the Dior anyway. Anyway, let's come back after another half hour, maybe, or maybe more, or something like that, and see where the dry down goes. Stick with me. All right, we're back. Maybe I think I spent a little too much time away because, I got shit to do. Prada. Oh, yeah. This has evolved into something that is... How do I describe this? Expensively comfortable. Expensively comfortable. It's like wearing a cashmere sweater that costs more than a person's monthly rent, for example. It smells like that. And it feels like it belongs on your skin. It's part of your skin. It settles into your skin. And it's confident that it belongs there. It's not like something that's been applied onto your skin. It's trying to can punch people in the face 10 meters away. It's actually just this is what my skin smells like. If you get close enough to me, you'll realize that, my skin smells amazing and floral and soapy and clean, and all of the good, expensively comfortable, and with a little bit of amber. If you heat this up, if I was moving around and I heated this up, it would be very alluring, I have to say. I'm impressed, Prada. I'm impressed. This is only the second fragrance of Prada that I think I will keep. The other one being the Amber Pour Homme Intense. Love that one. That's a great one. Let's go to the Dior now. Oh man, I can still smell citruses in here. It's still maintaining its freshness, It's really good. It's fresh sophistication. You could even say that it's kind of almost anxious about its performance. It's like it's checking in to see. It's basically the top notes are going, hello, am I still performing okay? Is everything okay? Because here's some masculine citruses for you. It's still hanging around. Damn. The iris is present. The woods are present. I still smell the citruses. That's amazing. Or maybe my skin is just really conducive to the ingredients that are in the Dior Homme line, because, like I said, I've got almost all of them and I like them, and I've had several bottles of them, and they seem to work really well for me, and they appeal to my sensibilities as well. Interesting. Back to Prada. I could imagine... if you imagine the Prada boutique with its, veloury sort of pistachio green and silver chrome sort of highlights on their cabinetry, their fittings, their fixtures, it would smell like this. It would smell like this. This is what happens when a fashion house approaches fragrance with fashion in mind. It's not trying to be everything to everyone, which Prada isn't, obviously, because if you want to show off, you'd go to Dolce & Gabbana or Versace or Gucci or something like that. But if you're not, then you might just go a Prada. It's not trying to be everything to everyone, but it's trying to be perfect for its intended audience, which is the people that don't really want to shout and scream, but they still want to give off that air of luxury and sophistication, and just whispered luxury and sophistication. Fresh, clean, luxurious and sexy at the same time. Not sophisticated in the traditional sense, not like the stuffy sophistication, because sometimes like sophistication means not trying so hard to be sophisticated. That's what it means. And I think the Prada's doing that really well. Dior Homme Eau is basically, I'll tell you what it smells like. It smells like a traditional fragrance house that is trying to modernize without cutting off its core. It's trying to modernize their classic scent, which the original Dior Homme was a classic by the time this was released. It was already 9 years after the original Dior Homme came out, and we'd already had, flankers like Dior Homme Intense, which was also very popular, Dior Homme Cologne, the first one, which was also very popular. So it was trying to modernize on a classic without losing its core identity. That's why it smells so similar and kind of different at the same time. So, like I said, it's transitional. And I'd say it's succeeded in that transition, but I think something has been lost in translation. And the thing that's been lost is its ability to communicate its own vision. So Dior Homme Eau is clearly a flanker. It's not its own thing. Dior Homme Intense was a flanker, but it was its own thing. Dior Homme Parfum, a flanker, but it was its own thing. The Dior Homme Cologne, not the first one that came out in 2007, but the one that came out afterwards with the the lemonade sort of summery sort of scent, and the Dior Homme Sport. They were all flankers, but they were their own thing. They had their own identity. Dior Homme Eau is a flanker, but it doesn't have its own identity. It's just the flanker of the Dior Homme. That's what it is. Now, if I had to choose between them, and thankfully I don't, because I have both, like the responsible adult that I pretend to be, I would choose based on a single question. The question being, do you want to smell like someone who's trying to be sophisticated or someone who is sophisticated? The Prada, I should switch them. This is confusing because the Prada's on this side and the Dior is on this side. So the Prada, the Prada's not trying to convince you of anything. It just simply exists. It's beautiful, it's confident, and it doesn't care whether you understand it or not. The Dior, technically competent, very wearable. It feels like it's still trying to make its case. This is the thing I said about being transitional, right? So both are excellent fragrances. Both will serve me very well and their wearers very well. But one of them smells like confidence, and then the other one smells like a desire to be confident. So that's the thing. The difference between true luxury and aspirational luxury, it's not in the price tag. It's not in the hard to get. It's not in the notes. It's nothing like that. It's not in the marketing budget even. It's found in whether the product needs your approval or simply expects it. And that, I think, will conclude my first impression and side by side of these two magnificent fragrances. Two things that I never thought that I would ever have, but here they are. This, because the itch got to me and I had to have it. And I have been wearing it to give it a fairly good chance. And this, because of just pure dumb luck. And now we've got two great fragrances that I will enjoy wearing. There you have it. An actual fragrance review. And I didn't get too deep into the philosophical stuff. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll do these once in a while. but not too often because I don't buy fragrances all that often anymore. Oh. Anyway, see you in the next one.